Last week, Ubisoft announced the remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and they're calling it Resynced. Black Flag is one of the most popular titles of Assassin's Creed, if not the most popular one, or beloved one, and that's probably for a number of reasons. Now, I think this looks amazing, guys. Look at the details now on the new version. They put out some great images and videos, and it looks outstanding. And honestly, it looks like I remember it looking, but now comparing them side by side, you can really tell the difference. Now with this, they're coming with a lot of upgrades as well to kind of modernize the game, which is awesome. And people are wondering whether or not this is going to be the golden bullet for Ubisoft to get back up there, you know. I remember playing it, and this was probably the last Assassin's Creed that I played. I was a huge fan of the franchise. I remember when the first one came out, I was immediately hooked, and it was such a new thing in games, you know. People think today that it might be a bit repetitive, but that's okay. It was a new game that came out with a new concept of everything, and I think the story was what captivated me the most. And then they released Assassin's Creed 2, and that to me was the best Assassin's Creed ever. The reason for me is because we follow the main character for a long time, okay? We connect with this character since he's a young adult, and we see him evolve through the length of 3 games. We see Ezio finding out about his father being an assassin and start to follow his steps. And he eventually becomes a leader and grows wiser as he gets older, you know. There's also a big plus in his storyline where we see him connect to both Altair and Desmond, which I think is a really cool idea, to connect the whole world like that and connect the previous games, you know. And then there's even a short film they did for the ending of this character as an old person, okay? But I think story is the main thing here, what caught me the most.
When I was a young man, I had liberty, but I did not see it. I had time, but I did not know it. And I had love, but I did not feel it. Many decades would pass before I understood.
Now, I don't think I'm alone here. I think a lot of people resonated with Ezio because they got to play with him and grow with him and transform and become this assassin. In a similar way, Edward in Black Flag is a bit like that too, you know. He becomes this assassin. He's not starting out as an assassin, kind of like it happens in Assassin's Creed 1. Now, I'm not sure what the storyline is after Black Flag. Okay, to me, I was really connected to the story of Desmond and everything that involved, you know, Desmond gaining these skills because going into the Animus and all that stuff. I think it was awesome. Now, when Black Flag came is when I started playing games less and less, actually, because I got into animation and I just decided to spend more time animating and learning animation rather than playing games, and dedicating so much time to playing games. It's not something I dislike, of course. It's something I grew up doing and I loved it. It's just a decision I made in my life. But if there's something that I notice in games today is that they have become more complex. There's more things to do. They want to provide players with more hours of play time and all this type of stuff, right? And more is not always better, I think, in my opinion, okay? I really like the simplicity of the first game, even though it felt repetitive, yes. Now, the second game, it was great as well. Even, you know, the trilogy of Ezio was great. Black Flag, for me, I understand that people love the whole pirate thing. I love it too. Now, when it became more about the boats and all this stuff, I personally wasn't too much into that. I just wanted to play as an assassin more than I wanted to have battles in the sea with the ships and all that. So I can't say that I finished Black Flag. I started it, I remember that. I remember seeing how great it felt playing it, and it looked amazing. But this remake might be the reason why I go back and replay it. Now, the other Assassin's Creed, of course, became a bit different. They went more into the RPG genre. I think the franchise gained more fans of that genre coming into this, into Assassin's Creed. But it also lost some of the people that they had before. And I mean, that's fine as a company if you want to do that. But I think slowly it has become more disliked of a franchise. And I think the main reason might be story. I think story is the main thing here that drives the story of the character and why you're doing these things, what drives the character to do things. I think it's really important. Even if you see an image of an environment, right? Like if there's no character there, it's just a pretty image. But as soon as you put a character in there, now you're experiencing with that character that world, and it's just one image, right? It makes you feel a completely different thing. I think one of the reasons why Assassin's Creed Black Flag is so beloved is of course the action theme. You know, like it's a pirate, it's full of action. It's a lot of exploration, but also just the character and its story and his evolution through the game. That's also something that players feel connected to, and they want to know more. So it keeps you playing and evolving in the story. So that to me just shows the importance of the story and the character and how we connect with it. So in my opinion, this will be a great thing for Ubisoft to figure out which direction they should go next. Simplicity is king, and there's nothing wrong with having a simple game as long as the experience is good. Okay, if the player is seeking to get more into the story and gets hooked in the story, I think that's the best thing you can do for the players. Of course, you want to provide enough playtime to where it justifies the price of a game, right? I'm not sure. I think I heard they want to charge $60 for this game, which is probably fine this day and age. Like everything is more expensive, so it just makes sense that games will become more expensive. Now, whether or not you want to experience this game in the with the new graphics and the new improvements versus just play the old one, which the story is it should be exactly the same, just there's not the same graphics and all this new stuff. So you can make an argument there whether or not it's worth $60, but that's up to each player to decide. I think this is a great thing for Ubisoft, honestly, and I wish they would do this with Assassin's Creed 2 and the trilogy. I think that would be a great decision for the studio, honestly. I think a lot of people would buy that game, for sure. They can even make it just, one big game that includes the trilogy, and that, I would buy that tomorrow if it came out. I'm forgetting Assassin's Creed 3, which it was great as well. I did play that one. I wasn't as hooked as I was with Assassin's Creed 2, but I think the story was alright. Wasn't my thing. Definitely felt more attracted to Black Flag when it came out. Just the theme of it felt more attractive to me. But yeah, this is gonna be awesome to see what comes out of this, and whether or not Ubisoft takes it as a sign of which direction to go with this franchise. So what do you think? Is this a good move for Ubisoft? Do you think they should do the same for other games in the franchise, or do you think they should keep moving forward with other games? What was your favorite Assassin's Creed title and why? Think about that. Was story the reason for that, or maybe it was something else completely? Let me know your thoughts. I'd like to hear them. I wonder if I'm the only one thinking like this about these games. Maybe just a nostalgic thing, Yeah, let's keep an eye open for this. I'm very excited to see this and what comes from it. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.